Good evening, everyone, and thank you all for joining us today. My name is Rashmita, and I am the event planner for Microsoft Reactor India. This session will run over the next 60 minutes, including Q&A. But before we begin, please take a moment to read our code of conduct. We are all here to learn together, so please be respectful of other people's views, understanding of differences, being kind and considerate in the way you engage. The chat section will be open throughout, and we do encourage you all to participate. So please feel free to drop all your questions in the chat section. I would now like to welcome Swami, our speaker for today's session. He is an aspirant software architect and currently works at Applied Information Sciences. He loves to learn about new technologies, but for now, I will hand over to Swami to begin the session. Let me bring him into the stream. There you go. Good evening, Swami.
Good evening, Rashmita. How are you doing?
I'm all good. How are you?
I'm all good and excited for this session.
Awesome. Let me bring up your slide. There you go. Over to you, Swami.
Okay, thanks, Rashmita. Hey guys, thanks for joining. This is the series which we are continuing on AI 102. And since 3 to 4 sessions, we are focusing on OpenAI or GenAI, Azure OpenAI. And this is my GitHub repo. This shows that I'm a lifelong learner, so I apologize if I do any mistake. So let's see that. And what are we going to do today? There's a lot of things we're going to cover. Let's see. We'll do a little bit deep dive into Azure AI Studio, and then we will be focusing on prompt engineering techniques like singleton, iterative, conversational, role play, zero shot, single shot, few shots. COT is a one new. I mean, there are a lot of new prompt engineering techniques are coming pretty frequently, and COT is one of the thing which is very much needed. Chain of thoughts, and then we'll see a few examples in AI, Postman, and C Sharp. I'm parking the Python one, but we'll come back to Python. The source code is available here. Actually, I should have created a separate one, but I'll do it by this weekend. I didn't get some time, so I'm reusing the previous one which I did it last week, but the concept are same. uh, Azure AI Studio features. So we did touch to a decent extent the Azure AI Studio, but now we will do a little bit deep into the weeds kind of thing, or at least touch it to a decent extent. Okay, so let's go to this Azure OpenAI. I mean, the UI has changed a lot, seriously, a lot. You can see that we have a model catalog and a model benchmark, prompt catalog. Even if you see that, it is going to give you a lot of the prompts. I mean, you don't need to think about this, but you can see that content creation, reasoning insights, natural language to code, recommendation, explain code, text classification. A lot of things are there. And also you can see that AI services, you will be able to see this, and also Azure OpenAI. So these are the two resources which we have published. So it shows this dev 002, and this is one another thing which we have published. We'll see that in a little bit, and we'll click on that all resources. It is showing this OpenAI. We can see the model quota, and we'll stop there. And again, we'll go back to uh, this one, Azure OpenAI, and click on this. And here we can see on the left side is again the same thing. Right side, we have quite a few playgrounds, assistant and real-time audio. I didn't explore, so I will restrain from touching that, but we will see these two completions and chart to a decent extent. Image will be doing in the next session. and these things will look at the deployments. And here in the deployments, you will be able to see the latest deployments and when is that model getting retired. So at least we have a decent time till 2025 Jan when this is going out. Okay, and then you'll see the model quota. We don't need it. We'll come back in the next session. What is this content filters and other things? But let's come to this completions. And before that, what we will be doing is we'll be coming back to this official syllabus. And from here, and if you see this from this official syllabus, whatever we planned in the next session, we planned two things. Out of that, one has been excluded, but still we'll go and learn that. One is the responsible Gen AI. That topic has been removed recently. Last week itself, I think it is removed, but at least I observed 3 days ago that it has been removed. And what we will be focusing is this one, DALI and responsible Gen AI. So we thought 2 units, but again we'll go and learn this two units because those are very important points. So what we will be doing is, at least to a decent extent, I will close this and we'll get into these two things and see that we have covered everything in this one. So access, we have seen that. Uh, Access to Azure OpenAI service, we have seen, we just created it. And then the second unit is use of AI Studio. Now we'll do a little bit deep dive, or at least touch upon those things which we have seen this deployment models. And content filter, I will refrain speaking about it. We'll be discussing about that in the next session where it comes with this responsible Gen AI. Now these are the models, and few of the models are getting retired, and new ones are coming pretty fast. So we need to keep up to the speed with that. And you can see this catalog. Let's see the catalog over here. When we go to the model catalog, and you can see there are different models, like industry wise it's coming in, and the collections, it shows that is it from Azure OpenAI, Microsoft, Meta, a lot of other things are coming in. I'm sorry, mostly even I didn't explore, uh, to be frank. And these are some of the models. OpenAI, sorry, 01 preview model, but this requires a registration. So you'll see that the deploy button is disabled. And if you want to deploy some other models, you will see that model. But this one very specific to O1 or O1 Mini, I think so. Both are required a registration for that. I have applied for it. I'm waiting on that. So once that gets approved, we will discuss about that. So now we'll see these things. So let me keep this aside so that it will be easy for us to go back and forth. In deployment also, we have seen one good thing in recent things is, uh, let me go to the same deployed model. It will be easy for us to discuss. Now I'll select this, click on edit. I mean, we'll come from the deployment, but I'm showing it because we already seen that the deployment. And model version, we have selected auto update. So whenever, right now it is this one, uh, default, or you can see this 240806. But I think this is 5th and this is August one. So let's select the August one. And we can see this adjustment is a new one which I've seen until a couple of weeks ago when I was trying. I was getting response limit. So then I went back and updated this one, and you can see there are a couple of content filters. We can create our own custom content filter, and right now we are using default v2. So let's use that one. So I've updated. So one new thing is that the model version, instead of the default one, you have the default. If you want, you can use auto update to the default, or you can use the latest version of those models. I mean, they would have experimented something and added more features, more security, whatever it's coming out of the box. Let's use that one. Okay. So that's about this. And the CLI or REST API, we can do the same thing. And now this one, the prompt type is, we can see that classifying content, generating new content, holding conversation. This is a conversational chat. Okay. I'll open it and keep it here. See this. So like a conversational, like you speak, and then it speaks and you speak, and like this, you can make it a conversation, like two friends are speaking kind of thing. And transformation, summarizing, uh, pickup, and factual response. And that's making call. So I think this one we will take little later when we are doing function call. So we'll not do it now. Test models. This is the one which we can see. Yeah. Now let's come back to this temperature. We'll see this temperature. I will come back to the studio. Go to this completion. And what? Don't we have any model which are eligible? Okay. So let's do the let's select one of the completion type. Let's type this completion. I think these are, they have, I think these are retired. But let's see. As far as I know, in your, I'm really not sure. Uh, I think Text DaVinci 003 has been retired. Uh, See this Text DaVinci, this one. I think they have retired. I think they were telling that don't use or something here itself. Please don't run. Oh, someone was asking because I read about that they have retired this Text DaVinci 003. See this, the Text DaVinci 003 has been retired, I think so. Okay, but anyways, if it is deploying, let's go ahead and start using it. Let's come back to this one, and let's come back to the completions. And here you see this, now it is showing this. Our other model which has got this capability is GPT, this one, GPT 3.5 Turbo Instruct. Now you click on that GPT Turbo 3.5 Instruct, and this one somewhere it speaks about that it has got a similar capability. This has got a similar capability of Text DaVinci 003. Let's deploy this one because I'm more comfortable using this one instead of the other one. So uh, let me deploy this. Anyways, that also Text DaVinci 002 is also there. We can use any one of this. But one thing, if you come and see the difference in the chart playground, the models you are seeing is it is showing only these two models. And if you go to the completion, so you are seeing the GPT-3.5 Turbo Instruct. So this is the one. So the models based on the capabilities, it will appear here in the completions or it appears in the chart. So that's about it. The first one we'll see the control the randomness. So when do you want the randomness more? So if you see that if I have this to a minimum, so it will be more realistic to, it's not more realistic, it is uh, it's going to use a deterministic response. Now if you have uh, the temperature to the highest one, it uses more creative response. So when do you use that? Like suppose if I want uh, uh, what is an apple? Now, what is an apple? I'm using it. Now, this is a single turn prompt. That means I'm asking one question and ChatGPT is giving me the answer. Like it's one single turn. Okay. Now, just let's remember this. I will delete it. And again, I'm regenerating it. And now if you see that, it's giving the same content. Okay. Now what we will do is let's come back over here and increase the temperature. Okay, now I increase the temperature. Now let's use the same query, and now you see that it is little bit different, if not almost same, but there are slight differences. Now again, I don't need the second, the last two are same. So now if you see that this one, when the temperature was lower, more deterministic, and this is more creative. So now we have two answers. Now I kept the temperature to the maximum. Now you can see that I have three different answers. So this is these two when the temperature is one. So that means we said that, hey, go and give me creative answers. So when do you need this? See, when you are creating a tweets or something, you want more creative answers or different answers, you have to adjust the temperature temperature towards the highest one. Okay, that's about the temperature and the max token. So here, if you see that, let me remove that. I think we have seen the tokenizer quite a few times. Now this is coming to 74 tokens. Now what I'll do is I'll come back and I'll say that use max tokens to 50. Now come back and what is an apple? And now you can see that here it stopped and we don't know the reason. Why did it stop? Okay, so key authentication, if you come and see, okay, it's just giving that prompt. So let's come back over here and let's see the completion model. Let's replicate the same over here. I'll keep this here. What is an apple? And I'm saying that the tokens is 50 tokens. Now I click on send. You see that here in the choice, the finish region line 37, it says length. So that means it is trying to generate, but the token limit what we kept is 50. So that is the reason it stopped. Now I bumped it up and now I'm executing this. And now what is happening is when we come and we see that the finish region is stop. That means it's telling us that, okay, you're giving me a prompt, singleton. Here is the data which I'm bringing it to you. So it gave it and it says that all is well. And the content filters we'll be discussing in the next one. Now at here you can see that the prompt tokens is 4, completion tokens is 76. The total is coming to an 80 tokens, and we gave the capacity or the cap at 100 tokens. So that's about some of the things which will not be able to get it from the Azure Studio. So that is the reason I'm switching back to the Postman, where we can see this one. Now the stop sequence. Now stop sequence is top 5 breakfast items of North India. Okay, I said that. I mean, temperature is high. It might give different items. And I can see it says paratha. Oh, okay, got. It should be 250 plus to have this answer. Top five breakfast items of North India. You can see that paratha, poha, chole bhature, and aloo puri. I mean, I think it would have done with the capacity. You see this? It's 258. That itself shows that why did it stop? Okay, that's a secondary story. And now, if I want to stop after this chutney, so what we can do is stop sequence. I'm saying that whenever you see the word chutney, stop. So I said generate. Oh, to see this. In the paratha section, it didn't specify the chutney, and looks like here it was adding the chutney. The moment it encountered the chutney and dot, it stopped it. So that's about the stop sequence. So temperature, max length, and stop sequence. See, top probability. This itself is a very good thing. So here, what is happening is there is one nice diagram. So let's use this one. So what happens is this also controls the randomness, but what happens is the graph it shows is very important. So there it shows the graph where most likely tokens, like if you say the top probability to the highest one, so what happens is some of the words which it is picking up, and if it is of lower value than this one, even those will be considered. So if you see that top probability parameter is randomness. Okay, it works little bit different than the temperature, and we'll ask, could you please give me the graph image? So that image, okay, it can't do that. Okay, we can use that Copilot. We'll ask the Copilot to give that graph. That's a very nice graph. God, I don't want to waste my time on this one. Let's see. Let's see this. Okay, also known as nucleus sampling. The graph is very, very important. So it specifies that the likelihood probability. So instead of considering all possible next tokens, the model first ranks the tokens by likelihood probability. So let's ask, could you please give me the graph image to explain? Okay, see this, it gives a pretty nice image also, where it explains what is that it is taking, which one it is considering. So it will give that. We'll come back to that in the meanwhile. Let it generate that. Frequency penalty. This is to reduce the chance of repeating token proportionately based on how often it appears. So decreasing this decreases likelihood of repeating the exact same text. Like again, if you see that you want some new content, see this, it says that decreases the likelihood of repeating this exact same text in the response. Like the presence penalty, chance of repeating any token that has appeared in the text at all so far. So increases the likelihood of introducing the new topics in the response. So let's see that what happened. It's generating. Okay, see this, if you see this, oh God. See temperature, that it is telling that threshold, wherever the threshold is, sets the threshold for selecting the token. And I mean, I didn't like this graph, simpler. let's see that. Let's wait and see that. And pre-response and post-responses, if you see whatever we want to add it here as part of the pre-response or the post-response, we can add it here. So that's about the presence and frequency. Now, best of is another thing which we want to we can try this. So what happens is it generates multiple responses. Like you say that best of 10, that means we'll be charged for the 10, and then it gives one response. So if let's see that here, let's see what is an apple. Now I'm saying that best of 10. Now observe that the token, whatever we are getting charged. Now this max token is for one of such response. Like we said that best of 10, that means 10 into 100. Now you see this, it is giving this. Have you seen that? It charged us 910 tokens. Whereas if I come back and say that, give me one, and you see that we are being charged only 83. So when we say best of, that means what it is happening is it is creating 10 different responses and it is choosing one out of that 10. So whatever this max token which is in the line 7 is for one such response. You said 100. So that means each of this response can go until 100. So now you can imagine 1000 into 100. So somewhere in that range you will get charged. Okay, you need to be a little bit careful when you're using this best of. I think to a decent extent we have covered everything in this, and view code also right now it is giving the intra id one also, but if you see that mostly this one, the response, and you can see that curl is very important. It gives us the entire url what has to be used in the Postman. But whereas I found a little bit different when I go to either the JSON. This gives a structure what we have to use it from here in the Postman. Like you can see that it is giving the prompt, temperature, top fee, the frequency penalty, all these things, max tokens, best of, and stop at null. That means we are saying that in the previous one we said the chutney and dot. So it stopped the moment it encountered the text called chutney. So it stopped that. So it gives this one. This is to a decent extent, but when I go to either C# programming, it said that endpoint. So we know that the endpoint is this one. And then what is that next thing we have to use it after that? So it is automatically creating it based on the model here, the deployment name. Based on that, it is creating it. So that's the advantage which I see when it comes to the curl. It clearly gives all these things. Like in this one, it says that OpenAI deployment so and so, and it's clearly specifying completions and what is the API version. Okay, that is one advantage. Now, if you see from our singleton, and now we'll come and we'll see the iterative discussion. Now let's switch back to the chart. Now here we have the system data where now we are saying that, okay, now you're a generic assistant. Now let's say that, oh God, I think I'm definitely doing a spelling mistake. Oh, I'm right. Cardiologist. So now I'll copy this. Now this is part of the role play. Now you're saying that you are an cardiologist. I'll save that. Okay, it updated. Now I'm saying that what is TV? This is a role play. So here we have given a role play. Said that, hey, you're a cardiologist. Now I'm asking what is a TB. So according to the cardiology, there is something which is called TV. So it's giving. Now, reset this, if I reset this and I'm asking the same query, what is TV? Now, if you see here, we didn't give it any specific role play for that. So now it says that TV is the television. So this is a role play. And let me clear that. Now let's do a conversational. So actually I jumped it, iterative, and this one, I jumped it to the role play. Now again coming back to iterative. Now if you see this iterative, now I say that uh, what are the top 5 plated states in India. I mean, I'm mixing quite a few things, but understand this. We saw that single shot, like you give an query, it came out. And here, this is iterative. And I'm saying that please give the output in JSON. Because I don't know what is that I want. So I give some prompt and then it has given me something. On top of that, I'm getting ideas and I'm giving another prompt or modifying the prompt. Few iterations it goes, and then I know that, oh, what is the prompt it is I needed it. I can tell that, oh God, and also in XML. So I want both the formats. So it gave it pretty good. It understood what is that I wanted. So it gave it in a JSON format as well as this one. So this is part of the iterative. Now conversational, like, so here what is happening is this is very, very important. See this conversational, let me clear it. Now I'm saying that, what is an apple? And now it is giving, I'm saying what is an orange, and it is giving that. Then I'm saying who is Albert. Who is Albert Einstein? I'm sure I did a spelling mistake. No. See this, it speaks about Albert Einstein. Which one is better? Which one is good? So my intention is I'm speaking about apple or orange. I'm asking which one is good. So here, see this, the concept goodness is subjective. So it is using the intelligence, and it is very specifically understood that I'm speaking about fruit. And also sometimes it gives that this is a more generic question. Are you speaking about fruits or Albert Einstein? If it is for fruits, so and so it gives it. Now, very important thing is if you go to the code and see the prompt, if you see the prompt, see it is sending the memory or what was the previous conversation which we did it. So this generic guy, and user asked what is an apple. Assistant spoke about apple. Then user asked what is an orange. Assistant spoke about the orange. Then I asked Albert Einstein. It gave the answer. Now I said that which one is good. So now it has got the previous context. I'm not coming out of any context and asking. If I say which one is good, could be one out of this, or I could have asked something else also. What is the time in India? I could have done also. But if you see this question is pretty much related to the previous 3 questions, or it could be anything else also. But from my perspective, it is definitely I wanted to test which one is good. Will it be able to identify? Because it has got the memory and the previous context. So that's very one important thing. If you see the between the completions and the chart, where completions we are not sending any of those things, but here we will be able to send it. Now, if you see the parameters, if you see that past messages to be included. And see this, it's all coming with a cost. You can send more number of messages also, but every text piece of token going from this to the model is chargeable, isn't it? So that's where this is coming into the play. And also you can see that maximum number of response, like 1 2 3, that is just 800. Now if I drag it, you can see that 1 2 3 4 5 5. So almost it is 1600, sorry, 16,000 tokens. And these are some of the things which are one difference, like include past memory message, and max response is not I can't exactly compare with the I can't exactly compare with the max tokens, but what is the response which is coming in, that we are very specifically talking about. And the temperature top P we have already seen, stop sequence we have already seen, frequency penalty and presence penalty we already verbally discussed, but I didn't demonstrate, but verbally we discussed. Only one new thing what we have learned here is the past messages which is going as part of the memory or the context, and the max response. So we have seen iterative, conversational, single turn, role play, zero shot, single shot, and few shots. So these are pretty good thing. Let's see, did I cover all these things? Like we have covered everything, and this is a chart playground. We have seen that these parameters. See, these are the two new things: max response and the past messages to be included. So those are the two things which I've already covered. And here, if you see the exercise or a official lab, what is available in this, and pretty much we can see that it has a different thing. And playground, I think this is speaking. Okay, yeah, this is a very good one. Chat session, system messages are there, and you see that how best it does this one. Like see this, create and advertise in this one. I mean, this is the samples. These are very very useful. Let me see that. At one place I really liked is, no, not that. I think that's in the second chapter. Let's close this one, and we'll go to the second chapter. This we have seen, and let me close this, so that I'll get some extra space. Apply prompt engineering. Chalo, we'll come back to this one, and we'll see, understand the prompt engineering. I think most of the things which we would have already covered in the previous one, adjusting the model parameters, this also we have seen that. And write more effective prompts. This also we have seen to the decent extent, like input, output, and any other specification, output format, and all those things. Like you can see the translated code, supporting and grounding content. Grounding is very important. We'll see that in the demo. Cues, leading words, and those all things which we have already covered. Let's go and provide context to increase. Like if you see this one, this is pretty good. And here we are specifying our intention also. So let's come back and use this prompt. And I'll close this, clear this prompt, and come back to this one. Now the system message, let's go back to the system message. Token limit only, clear that. So you can see this plus or minus, it is giving a similar format. Now, if we ask in a JSON format, which we have seen that either the tabular or we ask JSON and XML format. And the system message is very, very important. We have seen that when we specified that you're a cardiologist and we asked about a TV, it went into the cardiology section. In the medical terms, it brought the definition for TV. And the conversation history is very important. And this is these questions are zero shot. So that means we are not giving any example. Said that okay, here is your question, go get me the data. So it is bringing in the data. Okay, so input and response token may exceed. So you can create a new chart in that case. Um, set up. I said clear this. Okay, let's see if at all we are hitting. Then we'll see that. So single shot. Single shot is that we'll give one different things. I mean, one example will give, and then it gives us a gives us the data like a single shot. And few shots is will give few examples, and then it gives us a data. Like if you see here, we are we are telling that please solve the following problem using chain of thought approach, which involves breaking the problem into small things. Example, a bakery had 50 cup cakes. They sold whatever we have given that. So it is giving. Like if you see that here, we are saying one shot example kind of thing. You say that a question, we have five balls, he sold two cans and whatever it is. But now here we are asking a new one. So let's try this. Uh, let's try this one prompt. I come back and I'll type this and say, please solve the problem using COT, chain of thought. So it gives us a nice one. I mean, this is zero shot. I didn't give any example. Now here, I've given one example. Okay. Reduce the length. Please reduce the length of message. Or so. Let's give this now. Now we are not sending anything. Now it has given that. Now here, what is happening is we have given a query, and we have given a query and an answer, and then we are giving a query. Now what is happening is we have given the one shot. That means one example we have given. How do we want to solve, or what is that it has to take? And we have seen COT and chain of thought there. Yep, this one. So did we cover all the things which I want to cover? I think to a decent extent we definitely covered it. So let me see that here ChatGPT 4.0. Let me do that. I mean, this is just a output which is different from a model and model. Nothing. It's not a new concept, but if you see that it gives the same one, it is using the chain of thought itself. But the only thing is, it had this previous this one, and it understood. Here you can see this question and answer. So again, we said a question. So while it is generating the output, it tagged A and it gave the response. But here in the ChatGPT 4.0, it didn't use that, but straight away it gave it. I mean, it's not one model is correct and other model is wrong. No, we can't come to that conclusion. The only thing is the way the model was trained. It is doing its best judgment to give us the content. Now that one we have seen, and this is very important. As I was mentioning, the exercise in this is very important. Let's go and do that. The prompt engineering one is, I really liked this sample. So I already created it. Now this. close the solution. And where is that? Yep, this one, the prompt engineering. Okay. So here, let me close all these things and come back to this one. So we have already seen how to create this OpenAI resource quite a few times and deploy a model. We have deployed Turbo 16K. I think we have that model. Okay, Turbo 16K. And explore prompt engineering technique. So this is within the chart section itself. We'll try this one. It is very important. I really like this one. Like if you go in this one, let's select this turbo and use the same one and see how it clearly says the news article. Now let's come back and let's configure this. Now it says that you're a news aggregator that categorizes the news article. That means here we are doing a role play. Here we are doing the role play, and we'll give the same query. Now you see the difference between this answer and this one is a little bit different because based on the role play, it is you doing its best judgment. In fact, we are expecting this to come out. I don't know why you didn't do that. Oh, it clearly said sports article. Okay, but it is giving a little bit more. Let's try the same, changing the model. See that is a little bit different. How, as I was mentioning, how each model has been trained. So we are expecting sports, but this one it didn't do that. But this one 240806, this was able to nail it down and categorize this article. You're saying that entertainment news. So it's able to do that. Let's switch back to this model and let's go to the parameters. And yeah, it's already max response. It's nothing to do that. Let me switch back to 4.0. And here, let's come back to this one and try the previous one. It's for the climate. I mean, it should give the climate. And we'll see, help people find information. Now we are doing the role play. Now we're saying that, okay, now come back, not a news aggregator. Now you're a helpful guy who finds people the information. So let's see this. If we give all these three, so it will give this list of animals and whatever we asked in multiple ways. Now again, you can see this, you are a coding assistant and Python code, or now I'm saying instead of Python, I'll say that C#. That's the only difference. I'm saving that. I'm clearing the chart. And now I type this. Now it goes and writes the program, whatever it wrote verbally in the previous prompt. Now the same thing it is doing in C# programming. You can see that. Okay, it is generating that. Now if you see the application, what it is talking is this application. We'll see two different things over here. In line 31, it is reading the system text. So the system text is the same message whatever we are giving here in this one role play, the same one as this. And grounding text, what happens is, like if you say that asking what is the time in India, when they might do, it says that I can't provide real time information. So we can either do a grounding data, or we can call the external function to get the real time information. So this grounding is something like that. We give additional data so that if it's unable to find, it will use this to do that. So this is for the role play. This is for giving more context to that. Application is already configured. So these all things, the same thing, whatever we are trying to do. So system message, if you come in here, so in the system message, where is that system? We said that that's the system message, and user message will say that write an intro on the wildlife. So let me execute this. So it reads, okay. So it reads using the system message from that, and it is asking write an intro. So it is actually I should have commented that code. It shouldn't use the grounding text now, but at least we will comment in the next round. So it wrote some wildlife info. So let me come back over here and grounding text. So let me comment this. So previously, maybe I overlooked it, but control and forward slash was not working. That's what I think. I can't guarantee, but in VS Code it used to work. Now I'm seeing that even Visual Studio 2022 is also supporting control forward slash. It's a toggle button to comment and uncomment. But that's just a tip. Now here you can see that. Come back to the system message here in the system message, and then here we need a prompt, and let's go. And the prompt is little tricky, so I'll first copy this line. So it has got the system text, and that's one thing. And I'm copying the second line. I'm copying it. And the third line, because the moment it has got the new line character, it will take that spot as the query and it goes. Now we have given few other things. The rescue name is Contoso, and we have given all those details. Now if you see the things like Contoso Wildlife Rescue, so it is using the details what we have given, and specialization is on elephants, like you can see that elephant. So based on the context it does it. And let's see emails, and I mean it's more data only. We're an assistant writing promotional emails. This is the same thing. What this is the one I like, this one, so that will those are same, but this one I liked it. So we are doing a grounding information. Now let's come back to this one, and system information is this one. That's the system information. And grounding text, I'll delete everything. Okay, right now we don't have anything in the grounding text. You see this? There's nothing in the grounding text. So we are coming in here, and I copied it. And let's come back and execute this. So it is doing its, I mean, it's reading the grounding text, but we didn't give anything. So it says that Contoso is elephant, because which is not true, or based on the information, whatever it has got, it is true. Uh, so what we will do is we'll go back to this and I will undo the change, because that's the red panda. Because I mean, I didn't give the grounding text. It's my mistake. Apologies for that. I can see that. So it has got the system message, and we have given the information. It's reading the grounding text, and based on that, it goes and brings the content. It's a red panda. I mean, so that's about today's session. So let's quickly wrap up to see. We saw the AI Studio, the difference between completions and chart to a decent extent. And then we did the prompt engineering techniques. I mean, there are a lot of other prompt engineering techniques are coming in, because I myself spending not that much time, but to a decent extent, I'm spending time on Azure OpenAI since 1.5 years. But I myself was stunned to learn. Oh, I don't know a lot of things. So it's changing in a rapid pace. Now we saw about the singleton, different terminologies, technical terms, and different way to tackle a particular problem. You can see that iterative. Like I said, that give me top 5 states, and then I said that, give me in JSON and also in XML, like that iterative conversational. We have seen that how it sends the memory or the context is very important. Chart completions doesn't have, but the chart has got, completions doesn't have. And then we saw the role play between the cardiologist and the assistant. What is TV? And we saw zero shot, single shot, few shots, and chain of thought is very important. We have seen that. And sample in C sharp. I think Python, I parked it as I was mentioning. We'll come back to that. And I think that is for this session. Back to you, Rashmita.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Swami, for hosting this amazing session. And thank you all for joining us today. Please visit Microsoft Reactor website for more upcoming session. Feel free to use the Learn module links. This will give you access to additional resources to take your learning further. Thank you all once again and enjoy the rest of your day.
Good night, folks.